NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
Welcome to NewsBiscuit, the UK's original fake news. NewsBiscuit, like dry January, but with more regret. I'm your host, Wrenfoe, and I'm joined by 4 members of the Illuminati. Chipchase.
Good evening.
Bernard Castle.
Good evening.
SparklyBob.
Hello.
I have a question. Where's the sparkle? If you're called Sparkly
Wow.
Bob, let's see some sparkle.
I'm in a shed. I can't, there's a little bit of a limit of what I can do.
How
Are they
much sparkle
bobbins
can
on
you
your
get?
wall?
Yes.
Have you a wall full of bobbins?
I have got a wall for that. And what's funny is I do all these work meetings and everyone's like halfway through going, sorry, what's that on your wall again? I'm like, sewing. That's what it is, sewing.
There's probably a Venn diagram of people who like to make stuff, with bobbin stuff, and serial killers who like to take the skin of their victims and sew them up.
God.
Because it's in a hut, you're in a little sort of hut dungeon thing, and there's these bobbins on the wall. And I
It's not
suspect
underground.
Well, you say that, we don't know.
I'm just down the garden.
Where they can't hear the voices
Can't hear you
scream.
I hear the screams, yeah.
And alopecia.
Good evening.
Look at that impressive set of books behind him. And we know it's just a fake backdrop, but that is good.
Is it like a Weatherspoons pub where it's just like
That'd be great, calling for a Weatherspoons. I just like the idea of random drunks just like chipping in. This month, Tony Blair was given a knighthood for services to twattery, and we asked butt plugs, what hurts more, 2-pin or 3-pin? So that brings us to our first round, News in Brief, where our panelists select their favourite headlines.
Head of Police Association accused of sexual touching, suspended by Dick.
That is the most agreeable thing about her, is that her name lends itself to lots of really sort of cheap gags.
I just wish there'd been some alternative universe where Ed Ball's Home Secretary. I mean, Dick and Balls in joint press conference. I mean,
Jeffrey Cox.
Yes, instead we're just going to get Dick Grabs Johnson, aren't we?
COVID isolation cut to 30 minutes and a swig of Listerine. I really like distant relatives trapped in spare bedroom as Christmas row about Monopoly rules rage on.
Actually, maybe that's what they should do. They should say your COVID isolation is as long as your game of Monopoly. See you in 8 weeks.
There's likely to be more deaths as well.
Not through any.
Grey report to be followed by Pew Pew, Barnum and Grue, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub reports. Dear old Boris is traipsing over to see Putin, probably see if he can pick up enough Novichok for 649 people, and asking Vlad if he can time invasion in Ukraine to coincide with the release of the Grey report.
50 evades of Grey.
Very good.
Yes,
That's very good.
EastEnders to be less dire.
If only it were true.
Her Majesty strips Andrew of his Pizza Express loyalty card.
We have to step so carefully with the Andrew stories on the site, because obviously he's completely innocent of anything,
Yes.
Of course he is.
and any suggestion otherwise is an act of treason. But boy, is he suspicious.
I'm waiting to see the camera close up. I want to see if he's sweating.
Yeah, well,
Because isn't that the thing he
I
said?
bet he is.
I'm waiting to see. This hinged on that thing that he just doesn't sweat. To see that was the thing. Couldn't have possibly been him.
But if he's lying, that's one of the worst things on which to pin your defence, isn't it? Oh yeah, I don't sweat, my lord, and if I do, I'm guilty of all the crimes. Really? Do you want to? Is that the?
He'll just be saying, "This isn't sweat. I'm just lightly perspiring."
Yes.
Yes,
Like a
I'm
Jane
glowing.
Austen novel.
Glowing.
I'm
He just
glowing.
glows. He glows, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, glowing. That's it. He's glowing.
Andrew styles himself as artist formerly known as Prince. He voluntarily resigned from the RNA yesterday.
And if a golf club won't have you as a member, I mean, how low have you fallen on the ethical scale? Because
Especially that
my experience of golf clubs is there's some pretty dodgy individuals there.
There are.
Durham Coalfield to be named after Thatcher, the Black Pit of Despair.
Yeah, because I think that was Boris's big idea when he was
It was
mayor.
Boris's idea, yeah.
He felt that kind of Thatcher had done her bit for not only coal miners, but she'd also done her bit for the environment. That was his argument.
Climate control.
Yeah, because she closed all the pits. And you kind of go,
Genius.
I can't argue with the logic of that, I suppose. But I don't think that was her motivation.
No. Coronavirus linked to James Corden. You left with a nagging sensation that something's not funny, but slowly your senses become deadened.
That particular story that you've picked up, I don't think that's a recent one of us. I think that's from the archive as well. I think that's from 2012.
Possibly, but it's equally appropriate.
I think that's like decades old, that particular story.
It is, but it works.
Because coronavirus has always been a thing. And I think we linked it to James Corden at the time because you thought, he just spreads everywhere. And of course, it still resonates.
Absolutely.
He's still as unpopular.
Fears rise in the US of an invasion by the US because of a steeper than expected rise in US shale oil reserves. So there's a real chance the US will try and grab its own soil so it can get more shale oil. John Humphrey's grill wins MasterChef.
What happened to John Humphreys? Because obviously he was very angry on, was it Radio 4 for many years, angry about everything. And he got very angry. He got particularly angry about Brexit, I think. And then he went off to be angry somewhere else. He didn't go to GB News, did he? That's where everyone goes to be finally angry.
Didn't he go to talk radio or something? Didn't he go to one of
He's just shouting into the void now.
We can't hear him now. It's brilliant.
He goes to the park now and shouts at pigeons.
Did he get angrier than me about Brexit, Ren?
No, nobody's angrier than you, Al. I'll be honest. I'm assuming Brexit slept with your mother. Because there's no other way to explain the level of anger that you have.
Oh, dear me.
Thank goodness we did it, though, because it's all going wonderfully well, isn't it?
The Brexit dividend. That's what we're all getting.
Keeps giving day after day.
Yeah.
Well, I've got, what they call the, what's the voucher thingies the government sell you that you keep? Bonds. That's
bonds,
it.
yeah.
Bonds. I've got some bonds. Well, I haven't got some bonds. Someone bought me some bonds and I've got some bonds. And I've never got rid of the bonds. I've got bonds, basically. And the Brexit dividend is a little bit like my relationship to these bonds in they never pay out. They never, ever pay out. But I just hold them.
Number 10 confirms Sue Gray report will be released via Wordle. Trialed it one day last week with the word prick. Got reduction in train announcements causes huge spike in lost official secrets. I miss those days where the news was just literally somebody had just left something on a train, and luckily because of those announcements people went, that's suspicious, and then it turned out to be all our secrets.
Yeah.
Did John le Carre ever cover that in any of his novels? The idea that all the secrets just get left on the train.
It'd be a very short novel though, because he really does bank on people having to follow people around to find those secrets.
Yeah.
Where if it was just getting like the 8:36 for Southampton to Waterloo, it's here.
I think he did. Didn't he write one called "Does Anyone Find My File of Facts"?
No, he was the spy who came in from the Lost Property Office.
Oh, was he?
And what about MI1 to 14? I've always wondered. What do they do?
Oh, they're so
What do
secret.
they do?
Perennial underachievers, those guys.
They're so secret they don't even know they exist.
I had a friend whose friend went in to apply for MI6 and put her down as a reference, but then said, "Oh, I'm not meant to tell you. I'm meant to just say that I'm applying to become a state agent." And that's what I have to do because apparently no one asks. If you just say that, no one asks any more questions. Oh, yeah, right.
Would it be better if she'd gone, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you. I'll now have to kill you."
No, I don't think she got in. I think probably if you've fallen at the first hurdle, don't
It's
tell the
quite a
person.
good cover story, though, isn't it? I was just in here. I thought you wanted me to sell your house. I didn't realise.
Sorry.
I'm sorry
I
you were
practicing
out,
estate
so I picked the lock naturally. You know.
So what you do is you tell your friend, you give me a reference because I've got to be a estate agent. So you give them a reference that relates to being an estate agent.
Yeah.
And MI6 have got to read between the lines of all this stuff about, well, they like properties and they...
A good
somehow,
salesperson.
yes. That's odd. Right. Okay. Next one,
Sorry.
SparklyBob.
Tory MPs told nice constituency, shame if anything happened to it.
That's the whips being particularly threatening at the moment.
Yeah.
Although that's what whips do. Again, I noticed a lot of outrage online going, this is outrageous. The whips are pressuring MPs. You're going, the clue was in their name. They're called whips. They're not called lovely hugs.
Big dog has shit on the carpet once too often, says Tory donor.
And if there was a big dog that ever needed neutering, that would be our Boris.
Oh, euthanasia, surely. Like this is the one you're taking to the vet saying I don't think he's got anything left with him.
The Prime Minister is humping my leg again.
This won't hurt much.
Johnson says he didn't realise parties were work.
I do. There's an image in my mind though that he is busy working in various rooms around Number 10. And every time he finds a nice quiet room to get working, someone just bursts in with the cake, and he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Surprise!
Conga lines just coming in. Come on!
See, I wondered whether it was just that they were putting cakes on tables to like lure him in to actually do some work. So he'd be like wandering past. There's a cake. He's in. Shut the door, quick! Make some decisions. Hand him a pinata stick.
Well, he is the party leader, isn't he? So what do you expect him to do?
Exactly. Yeah, he's taking that really seriously.
This month, Bernard Castle is going to be sharing one of his favourite stories from the NewsBiscuit archive.
So the headline is "Man holding door open thinks he has solved gender inequality." Paul Webster, 43, has a long history of supporting women's rights, be it putting the recycling out, sitting at the plug end in the bath, or sleeping in the damp patch. He has also done his bit to narrow the gender wage gap by tipping the babysitter, which also helped him to buy her silence. Webster explained, "While I don't know much about women's suffrage, I once bought my mum some carnations from a Tesco garage, and I remembered to take the sticker off. Plus, I've never touched a woman inappropriately, though that's not for want of trying." A female co-worker commented, "I appreciate his gentleman gestures, but I just don't have the heart to tell him that I can open my own doors."
Is this an accurate depiction?
I mean, it's not all the men.
Just all the men you know.
No. Was it not? I think was it somebody a friend of mine had it where they got patted on the head once in an office for doing a good job by the male boss.
You should really do that anyway, full stop. But there is a distinction. There is definitely a distinction between patting someone on the head who's sitting down to someone who's standing up.
No, I think they were. I don't think it makes it any better that they were sat down.
Speaking personally, I did my bit for it. I went on a 4-week course of toilet seat etiquette.
And now you can woo a toilet seat.
Yes, I can.
Imagine Chipchase at a Swiss finishing school with a toilet seat on his head, walking around the room.
Yeah.
Our next round is True Biscuit, where our panel has to guess which is the real headline and which is the fake one. Sparkly Bob, we're going to start with you.
Pizza Hut responds to furious customer who claims ketchup bottle label sounds like a swingers app.
What? Sorry.
What was it called?
He spotted the words "shake, squeeze, and squirt" on the condiment. Can I please read the letter? I'm disappointed you have not replied to me all my requests for answers on the sexualized sauce. As a paying customer, I spent £23 on pizza and £3.50 on chips and drinks. That adds up to around £40. And I don't feel like that's cheap.
Is this outrage? Because at the end, it seemed to be about the pricing. If it was cheaper sexualized sauce, would it have been happy? And the other thing, and I can't believe I missed this to begin with, who the fuck is putting sauce on their pizza?
Yeah.
Who puts ketchup on their pizza?
It's for the chips. It's for the chips.
Pizza comes with tomato. Oh, it comes with the chip.
Yeah, it goes with the chips.
Yeah.
Eating chips, though. I mean, that's a bit.
Well, I don't have chips with my pizza.
I say it's not hardly Italian, is it?
And he couldn't get his mind off what it was country.
Yeah.
No, he managed to eat it though. He managed to eat it all and pay and everything else.
Well, if you're going to a swingers party, you need your energy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he was bulking up.
Keep your
So
strength up.
it does make it slightly more plausible that Prince Andrew would have been there now.
Well, if he ate that much pizza and chips on his own, you said he was on his own.
It's a huge amount of pizza, and that's like 2 pizzas worth. And then at the end, you go, you know what I fancy now? Some chips.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I would definitely be sweating after that. I think it's probably true.
True, 100% has to be.
And they never responded to your letter. That's the thing that's most screwing about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Irritating.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be true.
it is. It's true. Yeah, up in Hull.
Did you say Hull?
Hull. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought so. There's where the chips fit in.
yeah.
The moment you heard saucy sauce, you thought, yeah, Hull. That is Hull all over it.
Spiders could eat every human on Earth in just 1 year.
Is that with sauce or without sauce?
No, no sauce.
No sauce without
No
sauce.
sexualized sauce. Spiders, all the spider population as is, could eat every human on Earth in just 1 year.
That sounds like a sort of a drunken bet that spiders have with one another.
Are we talking about, of all the spiders on Earth, any one of them could eat all the humans?
No, collectively. They're collectively, mate.
Being wrapped in cocoons and digested slowly by exudates full of enzymes breaking down. Oh, I won't get too technical.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, our viewers are learning something tonight, Al.
No,
it's the science they tune in for. They love the science. So accumulatively, are they then a lot, if you were to stack all your spiders, like I stack my spiders at home because I like my spiders tiny. But if you just stack them all, would they then be larger than the mass of all of us?
They'd have to be, wouldn't they?
You've got to start with the biggest at the bottom and go up to your money spider or whatever at the top.
The money shots, yes.
Yeah.
You could pyramids of spiders, yeah.
I'll be honest, guys, it's probably not the stacking of the spiders that is the thing that we need to be fixated on.
Yeah.
I'm going to say false because I need to sleep at night. And I don't want to be thinking about spiders plotting my downfall.
Well, it's not so much a downfall. They're just plotting their next meal, which is us.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. You don't want to be thinking about any NewsBiscuit stories before you go to bed. I'll put that out there.
After we finish, I'm going to hoover all the cobwebs up in the house, just in case. But I think it's false.
They probably eat more.
I don't think they eat more than that guy in Hull, though. 40 quid a go.
Not for the money.
He's going to be our first line of defence, isn't he? Him. We're going to put him there, and then the spy. Yeah, go on, get him, John. And he's going to go, and take your sauce with you. You can do it. Chipchase.
It's true. A recent study by European scientists, but mind you, it's European scientists, so what do they know?
Well, and also I feel like saying, come on, guys, there's more important things to be getting on with than that. I either thought this guy's been in an office for like 3 years working out and doing his multiplications and come out and gone, where's everyone gone? Where is everybody? And everyone else is actually trying to like solve COVID.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, I've worked out the spider thing.
Yeah, Eureka. There's a Eureka moment when he found out it was true.
All they lack is intent.
Yes.
And as Al points out, all they need is intent. And now we're kind of giving it to them. We're giving them the motive.
Yeah.
The spider's going to go, I didn't know we could do this. Have you read this report? Boris is going to lap it up because he's going to use it like a dead cat, isn't he? He's going to put it in the news to distract from all the parties. Yeah. Spiders are going to eat us all. Yeah. Oh, and then there'll be spider denialists who don't believe in spiders. Oh, you know how it goes. Al, what have you got?
Dog rescued from drowning after sausage dangled from drone. Apparently, this dog, Millie, Jack Russell, was in danger of being overwhelmed by the tide. So
I could be using loads of other situations, surely.
Because most of us are tempted by sausages.
The whole thing at Wembley last year with like the football thing and like that, if they just had loads of drones, sausages, kebabs, they could easily part it, just lure them all back again. They'd all had a few pints. They'd have been well up for that at that point. You wouldn't have had any problems.
I don't know how a dog's brain works. I mean, you'd have to ask Boris Johnson for that. But the fact
that's how big dogs brain work.
The fact that the dog's in the water, the dog's like, oh, I'm drowning. Oh, there's a sausage in the sky. And it's that it didn't for a second think that's an unusual place to find a sausage floating.
And we got to be a bit careful that dog doesn't become some sort of cult leader, because it's like a sausage has appeared magically in the sky, saved him. I mean, isn't this the starting of Scientology or something? I'm sure this is like how that started.
That's how it started, wasn't it?
And also, if I understand anything about sort of Pavlovian responses, that dog is going to just be jumping back into the water as soon as it's eating that sausage.
On reflection, it'd be a great way, wouldn't it, to get drunks home from the pub?
Yes.
Just leads you home, and you're just sort of following the sort of, God, that could be. Hold on, that's a Dragon's Den. Watch out.
Going back to the luring blokes home from the pub idea.
You should stop luring blokes to the pub, Bernard.
If a load of blokes come out of the pub at the same time, well, you might get the wrong bloke.
Well, Bernard, that's the risk you take on Grindr.
I think it can't just stop at sausages dangling from drones. I mean, this could be the ultimate distraction. You know, you're going to get in trouble with work, Boris. You might want to take notes. You have the drone come along, flying something perhaps a bit unusual, maybe a birthday cake underneath it. People asking you awkward questions, and you go, "Oh my God, but look at that! Look at what's flying outside." Everyone's distracted. They might go and try and eat the sausage or the birthday cake, and before you've got away with whatever all the parties you were doing.
I had the grey report in front of me, but a drone snatched it.
I also like the fact that on the beach, obviously, those people, they're worried, the dog's out there, what are we going to do? The dog, oh my God. And someone there in the crowd's go, "Don't worry, I've got a drone." And everyone's going, "That's not going to work." And then someone else went, "Don't worry, I've got a sausage." One by itself, no good. You could do the drone, that's no good. Sausage, no. But the two things combined.
Yeah.
Thing is, you said it had tomato ketchup on it.
Yes.
It would be non-sexual tomato ketchup.
Non-sexual sauce.
Sexualized. It has to be non-sexualized sauce, yeah.
Someone had to cook the sausage because although dogs will eat uncooked sausages, it's not very good for them. It's not as bad as drowning. There's someone's had a quick fry up, and I wonder what happened to the rest of the sausages.
See, you paint quite a nice picture. Then when you said there's a fry up, then I'm thinking, oh, actually, was it quite unpleasant? Were people just having a barbecue, watching a dog drown, not giving a shit, and then someone's going, "Come on!"
I think it's true because dogs do have that level of focus on stuff.
And sausages are real.
What you could, I guess, put a hook inside of the sausage if you wanted to snare the dog and bring it home like a fish.
No, I think we're only going to go for humane luring of dogs. We're not going to just the trouble is they get this dog. We're worried about it. And they do this thing. We'll get the dog out, and then someone just takes a club, bangs the dog over the head, and goes, "There you go." And the owner's going, "What have you done?" And they go, "Oh, sorry, I thought it was a fish."
True.
Because
I just think it would work. I just think it would work. I didn't believe spiders, but this I'm on board with.
I think it's very much true.
That sounded so serious.
I have a reason. I know it's true. It's my dog.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was my local ITV broadcast it then.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
So, well, Al, true or false?
It's true.
Well, that'll teach us. Yeah, Chipchase watches the news and reads newspapers. We haven't had anyone at NewsBiscuit who's done that.
I've got mum's warning after spending 20 hours removing toys from 6-year-old's matted hair. A mum named Lisa Hurtful has taken to Facebook to share the brutal 20-hour-long battle she faced attempting to remove bunchums from her daughter's hair because she's German, so bunchums.
Sorry, bunchums. What was it?
Bunchums, I believe, are German toys.
I just like you saying the word bunchums. Can you say bunchums again? I'm going to just edit this in. You just saying bunchums repeatedly at the end of everything that everyone says. I mean, it'll be funny. You'll come across as very strange. I think, for comedic value, it's worth doing. This horrible matted hair with the bunchums.
Do you want a bit more information? There is a bit more information in this story.
It
might help
German?
You make your mind up.
Yeah, it's in German.
So they'd just done virtual school and went into the basement to play for about 10 minutes. And then she came out and had all this stuff stuck in her hair. And it took them more than 20 hours to get it out.
Not being funny. Surely after half an hour, I'd be going, get the shit, get the shape. We're cutting this lot out. Like, I'm not doing any more of this.
Sinead O'Connor, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, come on, no one will know. Don't worry, it's lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very nice parent actually to take that amount of time. You're absolutely right. Most parents would lose their shit very quickly.
But how does the child stay still for that? I mean, that 20 hours, that makes it sound like, they're like, but mummy, I'm hungry. No, like, I'm really tired, mummy.
I'm getting
It's
this
1 in the
bunch of
morning.
True.
Okay, another one for True here.
Yeah, and true. My daughter, when she's 3, did that with a comb, and that got well and truly stuck. Like, it was a comb I'd have for like, I think like 20 years from like a free magazine. So I was like bizarrely emotionally attached to it. And I tried, and in the end, I was like, no, snap with the comb. And
I
it
thought you
went,
did.
but
I mean, you snap.
snap with my daughter's
Snap. I thought it was his daughter's neck.
Yeah, no.
That's
I was
it.
like, that's it. I've had that.
Yeah.
It is actually true. Yeah, 20 hours for a 6-year-old is a long time, isn't it?
Yes, really. It's a lot. 20 hours for me. If somebody's doing that, I'll
Stop
be
me
like,
leaning towards the untrue.
Mommy, can I go to the bathroom?
Sit there till I take this bunch of mine.
For you, child, the playing is over.
Actually, I prefer you saying Buncham. You say it more nicely than I do.
See, we've moved past Cold War stereotypes, is all I'd like to say.
Finally, we reached the magic 8 ball.
The magic 8 ball.
Okay, panelists, what headlines can we look forward to?
Johnson commissions a sculptor to make a statue that can't be toppled by an angry mob.
Government to introduce a new law which says that lying to the House of Commons is not a lie if you cross your fingers and tell a bigger lie within 5 working days.
And you're saying this isn't policy already?
Being trialled as we speak, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Boris Johnson revealed to be the villain's rubber mask at the end of the Scooby-Doo episodes. Insiders say he was always saying he would have got away with it too if it wasn't for his pesky kids.
Yes, and there are so many of them.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Jacob Rees-Mogg in Mercy Dash to Palace with pizza.
And that brings us to the end of the episode. And I can reveal this month's winner is Russia. No, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Russia is the winner of next month's war. I'd like to thank our panel, SparklyBob,
Bye.
Chipchase,
Thank you very much.
Bernard Castle,
Goodbye, thank you.
and Alopecia.
Ta-ta.
And I leave you with these headlines. Hermits reject call to reduce self-isolation. Man trapped in lift with Michael Gove, expected to make full recovery. And Downing Street staff to organise one hell of a leaving do for Johnson.
You've been listening to NewsBiscuit, free to read and free to write for. We accept submissions from any budding satirist, young or old. Visit newsbiscuit.com to submit headlines, stories, and to support new writers.
NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
A New Zealand city is taking its official wizard off the payroll after 2 decades.
Bernard, I don't want to crush you here. We've had this story. We've had it.
No.
We've had this one. Sorry.
No.
We had it in one of the early episodes.
I never listen to these things.
It's like,
Can I just read? Sorry to interrupt the flow. Can I just the quote which I'm sure you went through this, but I love the quote from it.
Go on then, you enjoy it.
I love women. I forgive them all the time. I've never struck one yet. Never strike a woman because they bruise too easily is the first thing, and they'll tell their neighbours and their friends.
He's thought it through, hasn't he?
Yeah, we,
Absolutely,
we bruise like a peach and we're a big old tattletale at the same
Yeah.
time.
Absolutely.
Women take the fun out of the beatings that we give them
Yeah.
by leaving a trail of evidence.
I'm being a bit annoyed about it.
Yeah.
He sounds like a nice bloke, actually.
You women are killjoys. Just take your beating
Great.
and,
Great.
and here's some magic while you're at it.
Yeah.
Is that how he gets away with beating women? Is just like misdirection. He's got
Absolutely.
look at this buddy whack. What was that? Magic. Be editing it over the next few days, so it'll probably go up online at the end of the week, and I'll send
oh,
you an email.
we've heard that before.
Yes.
It'll be all redacted, won't it?
No.
There was a meme or a meme, whatever you want to call them, doing the rounds yesterday on the social media stuff, which was just an A4 sheet of redacted 3 words. Boris is innocent, with all redacted. All Boris at the top.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. I'll time it for the release of the Sue Gray report. Yes, 2030. That'll be very topical when that comes out.